Just shut up, stop talking, cease and desist. There's a good girl. Go, 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 go.
Moisturize me.
Hey!
Hey!
It's us!
It's us!
Welcome back to Never Ever Eat Pears. This is the Doctor Who Rewatch podcast where we start not at the beginning.
No, who does that? That's boring.
But then, yeah, that's fine. And just a few things we're going to cover before we get into the meat of the next episode.
I don't know what's coming, guys.
No. Well, we have some things that we need to cover. First thing being, and obviously there's no pressure because the episodes may not last that long, but at the moment, as I understand it, Never Ever Eat Pears is sitting at around 23 hours in terms of like duration of content that we've made out there.
Nearly an entire day.
Yeah, exactly. But if we get to 25 hours, it will be the longest running podcast I've ever done.
Oh, dude. Okay.
It doesn't have to be. That's not the goal this evening. It's just so you know that there's a thing that exists. We are very close to getting to that point.
Excellent.
We have. It is from someone we know, but we have our first comment.
Hey!
And it is about it was left on the episode The Woman Who Died. It wasn't about the episode at all. It was about something that I talked about and said even then that I probably shouldn't have raised. You probably remember what that was. Yes, it is a follow-up to my spider friend in the corridor, and it is from the lovely Donna saying, "Why haven't you told me the spider story? I've been walking past that thing." He's fine. He's chill.
He's friendly.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, like he didn't attack me while he was in my bed. He just clearly
It was just there.
he just wasn't sure of the boundaries, so I had to put those in place and no breach since. Yeah. Have I talked about the Doctor Who store that Donna and I went to some months back? So we went up to London and we went all over. We did Madame Tussauds. We did a river cruise, but one thing that we did do was hop on a tube and we ended up somewhere in London, fuck knows where, and a little short walk from the station, and we got to this huge Doctor Who store.
Well, I didn't know anything about this.
I'll send you a link to like the address and stuff if you're interested.
Absolutely.
But it's a mixture of all things Doctor Who, all the way from classic Who all the way up to current stuff. They've even got a shelf that's about the length of my couch that's just fezzes. They've got
That's many fezzes.
props from anything from Daleks to Cybermen to Weeping Angels to four little, I think they were bootleg, but four little Lego compatible Cybermen prints that I got and I bought. They have a full-size Cassandra with a little bottle of moisture.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just a really cool shop. I think they've got a K9 with the Fourth Doctor scarf wrapped around him, and so that's just it was just a lovely experience, and like loads of Doctor Who comics and magnets. I got a TARDIS magnet from my fridge. Loads of Doctor Who outfits, so like the 10th Doctors, all the iconic coats and
Brilliant.
things like that. But yeah, it definitely.
How did I not know about this?
Definitely, it's nowhere near anything.
Oh.
Like you'd have to walk through somewhere that kind of looks a bit like, and this is no. It's not a particularly friendly area to then get to, like I wouldn't want to walk through there in the dead of night.
Oh, okay.
But then the area that it is pretty out the way, but you just have to get through that area to get from the tube to the but yeah, really, really cool place, run by very friendly staff as well. They clearly are fans to the property as well, so yeah, just really, really cool. I think it's just called the Doctor Who shop.
I mean, yeah, why? Yeah.
Why bat around the bush? You may as well just say what it is. Yeah, can you give your mic another tap, my friend?
Oh, I can.
Oh yeah, you're good.
I'm good.
I'm getting paranoid. We're having tech issues.
Tech difficulties, everyone.
Right, so I probably won't talk about this until I've talked about this. So convoluted, I know. Big Finish.
Yes.
You know I'm a fan of it, and I've been downloading as much as I can. This is no discredit to Big Finish, but they are quite pricey in terms of what
Fair. Yeah.
And you can't, unless you're earning quite a lot, you can't just go out and spunk away a load of money on audiobooks, as much as I'd like to. But I may have found the best one ever.
Is that the one you put in the chat?
No.
Oh, a different.
No, this is a different one. Because I didn't want to reveal that until we were talking face to face. And it's nothing, like most Big Finish is very unconsequential to the rest of the Whovian universe. But, and even as a story, it's not particularly grand.
Okay.
But in terms of the cast,
Oh.
it is Susie from Torchwood
Oh, okay.
and Margaret Slitheen.
Oh my god.
The original cast returning to reprise their roles.
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
it is just a story of them being friends / wanting to kill each other. It is fucking amazing. It's
That
some of the
sounds really
best.
fun.
They just have such a great back and forth. And you wouldn't have thought, because I never really thought of Susie as being someone that I really wanted to touch upon in terms of Big Finish stuff.
Yeah.
Because you don't really get to spend much time with her, and she is a villain for a lot of her run.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they bounce off each other so well, and
Oh, that
it's just
sounds epic.
a really good time.
Probably a good little pair in there.
For those who are interested, the episode's called Sync, as in syncing up phones, not bathroom sync. But yeah, there aren't really any spoilers to give because there's nothing consequential. Like obviously both characters come out okay because this is between World War III and Boomtown.
Okay. Yeah.
So she's already ended up on the Isle of Dogs, and then she's just become
She made her way back to Cardiff at this point.
she's become Cardiff
Mayor.
mayor at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Weirdly though, she doesn't know about Torchwood in this audio drama. And I always thought that odd, because and I know most people don't know about it, but like even the police know, during the Susie stuff, they know about Torchwood.
Yeah,
that random old lady at the start of season 2 knows about Torchwood.
Yeah, no, I hadn't really thought about that.
But Cardiff Mayor, you would have thought would have had some kind of,
Yeah, some sort of inkling.
but nah,
There you go.
not a Scooby.
Never mind.
Right, so this is the main bit of this. So you and the audience may know that I'm working on an audio drama at the moment, featured around a character called Regan, who we do not know much about. We do, you don't.
Yeah.
But I have done the opening to part 2. It's not anything about the main body of the episode, but I thought as a new character, a new kind of story, it might be fun to do something a little bit fan servicey, but just fun. So keep in mind what I've talked about that most recent Doctor Who audiobook. I'm going to come off mic and I'm going to give you an iPad and a set of headphones. It's 6 minutes long if you don't mind listening to it. The only reason why I'm saying headphones is because of there's background sounds and stuff that I've mixed in. Short-range teleport, nasty bit of travel. Far better than bringing the TARDIS here.
Maybe if you told me what you were looking for, I could assist you.
You know, it may come as a surprise, but despite me building you to assist me, I really don't need your help with this.
Ah, I see. Like you did not need my help with the teleporting?
It was a slight oversight.
Your original coordinates would have deposited us into the heart of a star?
Yeah, maybe.
Definitely.
G?
Yes, what is wrong?
You know when you said this was Clom?
That is where you wanted to go?
This isn't Clom.
Intruder! Intruder in the corridor!
You said this was Clom! You said it was Clom! Teleport! Teleport!
So there may have been a slight error on my part.
Oh, you don't say. Why didn't you teleport us?
The short-range teleport I designed has a 10-minute recharge.
Fantastic. Now you tell me. What was that?
It would appear the creature we encountered earlier has been joined by two others, and they are attempting to destroy the door to this room. My senses also tell me that 5 others are amassing in an elevator 18 floors above us. Arrival in 20 seconds. Likelihood of survival.
Yeah. Give me a second, and maybe I can better those odds for both of us.
Come, my brothers, today is a most unexpected hunt.
Keep all luggage and claws inside the capsule at all times. Oh, and happy hunting.
I can't wait.
You know, if I didn't know better, I would say that we found ourselves in some kind of nursery.
I do not see how that helps us escape.
It doesn't, but our reason for travelling may not be lost after all. Here, help me with this door.
Understood. The process is simple.
Great, is it quick too?
Patience is a virtue.
So is keeping my skin attached to my body. I know which one I would choose.
There you are, human. I think when this hunt is done, I might need some alone time.
Yes, relish in the pleasure.
Okay. So you caught me. You win. But before you kill me, don't you want to know why I'm here?
I think instead I have a question for you. Have you not wondered at all why all the floors in our city are grated?
You know what? At the end, yes, I have. What's with that?
It's so the blood can be drained quickly and efficiently. The family's always ready for the hunt.
Success.
There's nowhere to go, human. You may as well start screaming or crying. I don't mind which. What are you doing?
Dad told me plenty about you, and I reckon you won't hurt me while I'm holding this.
Put that down now!
3, 2, 1, teleport recharged.
You know, I think despite your strength, your sense of smell, your terrible talent, okay name for a band, by the way, I think the greatest irony is I managed to get under your skin. Ciao, ciao now. You know what, G? I really don't think this is half bad at all.
Why did you not build me with the ability to vomit? This feeling is not subsiding.
You know, the main thing I was having trouble with was how to bust her open. Baseball bat, laser sword, hatchet, none of them would make a dent. But you know what? When all seemed lost, just shutting it in the TARDIS door. Cracked it open like an egg.
You know, if I imagine really hard, I can imagine what a self-destruct might feel like.
And once you get past the jelly-like hair, swamp-like complexion, you know, it may be on my top 20 quick and not so easy snacks. Roll up, put down your petty paloos and your Greg sausage rolls. A new snack has hit the shelves, and all it takes is a bereaved family to get your own.
Do you eat a Slitheen egg?
Not just a Slitheen egg.
Who?
Well, who was returned?
Ah, you ate her! That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was so good. How did you get the voices to sound like exactly like Slitheen?
That took some doing.
That was awesome.
Especially because I had to do all of the Slitheen voices. So a little peek behind the curtain with that. I had, because the Slitheen have even the blathering, they still have kind of like a kind of almost like metallic creak to their voice.
Yeah.
So I put that microphone in front of a fan and spoke through the fan into the microphone. And that kind of did it, but I still had to do a lot of vocal work myself.
Yeah.
I can only imagine my poor neighbours when I was screaming, "The family's always ready for the hunt." G was actually a plug-in for GarageBand where you'd use it, and usually for a guitar.
Okay.
And that's how I was able to get like the kind of staticky sound.
Is G like
I don't
Handles-esque?
more nimble than Handles.
Okay.
So
Actually with the
G,
body.
yeah, G can move around, but I'm still unsure. A little peek behind the curtain. Also, I'm still unsure of what G actually looks like.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
I'm kind of torn between Empire Strikes Back, Imperial Drone, kind of the ability to fly around and be a bit more nimble that way, or Claptrap / Wally, kind of zipping around on a single wheel, or little tracks. But yeah, there were loads of little audio elements that I had to do that. Like the sound of the elevator was a physical elevator at work that I just had my phone out and took the audio of that. The background audio of like the different settings and the walking on the kind of grated surface was all from Halo 3. I was just like, I just got a character and just ran around for a bit just to get that audio.
Really, really well put together. It sounds awesome.
Thank you. There's still
Really cool.
a few touches because there's one of the Slovene voices I'm still not quite happy with, so I may bring in someone or just find a different way to do that. The eating scene at the end I actually did this evening. Like that was.
Oh my god!
That was when I was having my physical dinner and I was just recording me eating it. Because I've always been sad that there's never been a follow-up to Margaret and her story.
Yeah.
And I know, but I never wanted that to be the end, but it's more kind of like more horror factor and just like, that's how it went. Like, she never got the fresh start that perhaps the Doctor and the others wanted for her. But of course, most audio stuff isn't canon, so it's just a good bit of fun Docky Who nonsense. But yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed
It was really, really good.
that opening to what will be part 2 of that audio drama.
Love it.
Right!
And so...
Because we are here to talk about an episode, and that episode is The Zygon Invasion, written by Peter Harness.
Nice.
So, our episode opens with a flashback.
It do.
Because we get the flashback.
With some fantastic music. I
Yeah.
love this. It's his, like... It's 12's theme, isn't it? Like another or adaptation of it.
And we see our 2 other favourite boys
We do.
doing their monologue
Doing
about...
their thing.
No one will be able to remember if they're human or Zygon.
Yeah.
And that cuts then to the Osgood message, does it not?
It does indeed, yes.
With the 2 Osgoods. Talking about the Osgood box and the ceasefire.
Yeah.
And doesn't that then hard cut to... Because they talk about what would happen if one of them was to die.
To die, yeah.
And then it hard cuts to the most undescriptive gravestone I've ever seen.
I know that they were going for, like gut punchy and poignant, but my sister... Come on. I mean...
Give a bit more description than that.
Yeah.
You supposedly cared about this person, whether they were human or Zygon. Don't matter.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't
just-
matter. You're supposed to still have cared about her.
But no, that was the only descriptive that you could give.
I don't know. I suppose, like, for suspense as well. Couldn't really have put my human sister or my...
No,
Zygon
but just
a little more.
beautiful sister or loving sister or...
Or even just Osgood.
Yeah.
Her actual name. Yeah.
Right, so...
But yeah, they're explaining why it's important that there's 2 of them. Two, like, isn't it? And they're saying, like, remember what the...
Well, we don't know that there's 2, but...
No, the 2 of them.
those.
The 2 of them in their chat, isn't it? They're trying to say that the 2 of them are keeping the peace.
Yeah. Because that was the whole point of the
Yeah.
piece, that we'd have one who's human and one who's Zygon to monitor the piece
Yeah.
and have the
There's-
best interest of the piece from both sides.
Yes. Yeah, because it's supposed to be this wonderful, everlasting peace that is gonna work.
Yeah.
With failsafe, and it just... Yeah, and then when you get that hard smash, you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Now, because the Zygons are Classic Who monsters, aren't they?
Yes, they is. Yes.
And I know that Classic Who, they were working with 10p and a packet of string, but
Yes.
do you find them scary?
No.
I did have a crude joke lined up, but I'll leave it. I'm sure many episodes have covered it.
Mine's not crude, but have you
Okay.
you've seen Finding Nemo?
Yes.
It just reminds me of the starfish.
Yeah, it's
It's 100% the starfish. But like, yeah, I think that I like their design.
yes.
I think the design is great.
It is,
but
yeah.
it's not scary.
No. But there are a few spooky moments in this two-parter.
Yeah, I'd say so. Absolutely.
But before we get there, we get an absolutely beautiful rendition of Amazing Grace on the electric guitar.
Oh, but what disappoints me so is
Yeah?
when you watch it, he's not actually playing.
See, only you would know, because I have no technical skill.
Because I then read up on it, because I was watching him as he was playing, and he was holding notes, but at the same time his fingers were going up and down the fretboard.
Okay.
So I was like, what the fuck? Because we know he can play.
Yes.
So I was like, what is this? So I looked it up, and it is him playing. He was playing Amazing Grace in situ on the TARDIS with that very guitar.
Yeah.
But then for some reason they decided to dub it over.
What?
And I don't know. I don't know what it was. And I was like, what? But yeah, either way,
Bullshit.
it's beautiful.
Yes,
it's
it is.
really, really
It is
good.
very, very nice.
And I'm just loving that he's just got some more playing. I love it.
It's whenever the Doctor has I don't know, like a prop or a tool to accentuate their feeling in that moment or whatever,
Yeah.
or just something to show how their mind's working. I think just playing on the guitar or music in any shape
Any
or
sort of
form
music. Yeah.
is a beautiful way of doing it.
Yeah.
But it is interrupted by some message on a screen.
Because we've kind of skipped a little bit, because after the hard cut of the gravestone, we then get another hard cut to another Osgood running away. into-
Yes, we do,
Yeah.
and that's probably one of the not main spooky bits, but when she runs into that
copper station.
yeah, and something gets thrown through a window. I don't know what it is. It's just a small brick or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And she goes under the desk.
and we get the Zygon kind of like stomping around,
Yeah.
and we get the fake out.
But like, what a bad place to hide.
Yeah. This is the Maria Jackson in her second episode. You really shouldn't be hanging around school after home time.
And also, her phone's not even on silent.
No.
It's beeping.
No,
And
come
she's
on, you're
pressing
an
her
operative
buttons.
at this
I'm
point.
like, oh
You should
my God.
know.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, she sent her message.
Yes.
And got grabbed by a Zygon.
Yes.
Then we get the hard... That.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
But it... Oh, I can't...
What's he said? Nightmare scenario.
Nightmare scenario, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the point where we get the cut to the titles.
Titles.
Captain Exposition is back.
Captain Exposition is
We
back.
love her. We love her to
love
rattle
her.
off
Is her
some.
name Jack? I think her name's Jack.
Yeah, some sci-fi bullshit.
Yeah.
That because she's the audience surrogate, especially in moments in the next episode where I think even the audience is ahead of her in terms of her reaction to certain situations.
I didn't think it was the next episode. I thought it was later on in this.
Oh, was it later
I
on?
think it's later on in this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think. Yes.
That's the problem with watching
It's at the
two
very-
episodes next to each
It's at the
other.
very
They all
end of
blur.
this
in.
episode that we are very much ahead of where she is.
Yes.
Again, for an operative. But yeah, she's back and she's wonderful.
And we also get the Doctor in a play park harassing.
With the worst teaching staff. in
Yeah,
the
why
history
are
of the
they
world.
not coming over and be like, excuse me?
Excuse me, elderly gentleman, why are you sitting on a swing?
Yeah.
And also, excuse me, elderly gentleman, why are you talking to two 7-year-old girls?
Are both of them 7? Because one looks
I think
significantly
one must
younger
be-
than the
yeah,
other
yeah,
one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I do like
just
their
the way-
kind of deadpan expression and talk.
fantastic.
They are very good actresses.
Very good
yeah.
little actresses, yeah.
But I think he's talking about wanting to stop the ceasefire, but they're saying something to the effect of what's going to happen is going to happen.
I heard it that, like, because they're the high command, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're the high command Zygons. I thought it was him going, why aren't you checking in on your people very much? And they're going, we are, calm down. There are people, we'll deal with it. But
We do get that beautiful But let's face it, you're very blobby.
You
In
are
fact,
very, very
you two
blobby.
are the biggest blobs.
The biggest blobs. Yeah. Yeah.
But someone throws down a vague flashbang smoke bomb,
Flashbang smoke bomb, yeah.
and they get nabbed by Zygon zipping around in a park maintenance van.
Yeah. And again, the teachers don't do fuck all.
No, they don't. These teachers have taken a leaf out of the Clara book when it comes to bad
they're
teaching.
like, oh, no, teachers? No. Yeah.
I have been defeated by smoke.
Yeah. They didn't even, like, attempt.
No.
It's embarrassing.
It is.
They should be fired.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe they're rebel Zygons.
Maybe.
Yeah, they got
They're
them
like,
to that
they're
park.
right here.
So Clara is being
Oh.
called by the doctor.
Yeah, he's calling her a lot, isn't he?
Yeah,
With his-
127 times if
with
I
his
didn't
wonderful
misread
nicknames. It's Dr. Disco.
Now, I know she's zipping about on a moped, but,
Yeah.
like, you are not missing 127 calls.
There's no way.
And knowing who she knows, you'd pull over. You wouldn't just wait to get to your destination and be like, oh,
Yeah.
she was even halfway up the stairs before she even looked at her
And
fucking
even
phone.
when she looks at them, she's like... I did a very deadpan face. I realised no one else can see what I just did. Like, yeah, she doesn't even show any...
No.
I don't know if this is like a peek into their lives and that he calls her a lot anyway, even if he just wants
But doesn't
to know
he,
where the
doesn't he
toaster is
text
or whatever.
something to say that it's the scenario, or is it? I think it may. No, I think it may have all been voice.
I think it's all phone call, like, because
Yeah.
but at this point, Kate's phoned him as well and said this is the nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
Because he says something like, "Are you phoning me out of your backside again, or did you send me a distress signal?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she doesn't. Clara doesn't phone him anywhere near as quickly as possible. And then meets that kid on the stairs.
This kid who has not lost their parents.
I can't find my mummy and daddy.
He's misplaced his packet of Smarties and is
Yeah,
fairly sad about it. Like,
yeah.
this is
And
not a
also,
child who cannot find their parents.
Yeah. But also, as a kid, I don't know if I couldn't find my parents, would I leave the house? Probably not. Because the door's open, isn't it? His house door is open because Clara walks right in.
Yeah. But then finding out what we find out in a couple of seconds, not what we find out later.
Yeah.
Did this kid look very much?
Apparently not. yeah.
Just walked out in the hallway like, well, parents are gone.
Yeah. But, again, bad child handling. Clara just leaves him on the stairs.
Yep. So
She's like, you wait here. I'll go and have a look for your parents in your house.
although, and I don't often come to Clara's aid, but bear with.
Okay.
Knowing what Clara knows and what Clara has experienced, can we not argue that she's putting herself in the firing line, doesn't want the kid anywhere near what could... Because she's automatically going to suspect that there's something up that's slightly more than parents have, run away or something.
away,
There's something more...
I don't know if
supernatural
I'd
at play.
still maybe want him to be a little bit closer. Be like,
Yeah.
maybe you come and stand outside the door with me and talk to me so I know that you're okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I just feel like leaving him on the stairs is not
No.
ideal.
Fair.
Yeah. Just wanders in, goes straight into their bedroom with the creepiest mask hanging on that wall.
I didn't see it. What was...
It's just a white mask.
Oh, God.
I assume it's some sort of like ornamental mask or anything, but it's creepy as hell. But she just walks on in, and then it's his mum, isn't it? Pops in, and is the worst alien in disguise you've ever seen because of the way she talks. She's just so deadpan and like, yeah, we lost him.
Well, no, wasn't it the dad that comes in first? Because she says she
yes,
says something
you're
to the
right.
effect of "Your boy's looking for you." So he goes out.
Oh yeah, and doesn't say anything except
No.
Daddy's here.
And then she comes in and does more deadpan stuff, and then you hear screaming and yelling.
And then Clara watches this man carry his screaming child into another room, and just goes, "Is he okay?"
Now, I know this is pretty much all revealed, if not in this episode, but in the next one. So we shouldn't really bat around the bush because there's no spoiler. It's going to happen. But do you think? I'm not going to ask, as I often do. Did you when you first watched this episode? Did you think this or whatever? But surely this is a huge giveaway, because even with Clara being as neglectful as she is, to be like, well, that seems fine, and walk out and be like...
Even before she walks out, I felt like her reaction was very un-Clara. She was like, is he okay? Like, there was nothing There was no emotion
And
in
that
the question, and I was like, "What?" Which would have made sense if what happens had happened earlier.
Yeah, but this is
But this is supposed to be Clara,
yeah.
empathetic, nice Clara,
No.
who's a teacher, should be interested in her kids. I don't know. I just think that the writing was a wee bit iffy then. Because then, yes, when she walks out, I was like, something not right going on right here, right now. Because again, weird.
Yeah.
And then just phones the doctor like it's no big deal.
So we're getting also some video messages. We're going to do this in classic Never Ever Eat Pears fashion, where none of this is going to be in order, but we'll try and tackle it.
Skipped a few wee bits.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So the Zygon Rebels are sending a few video messages. I think the first one they send is of them with Osgood and her message.
Yes.
But the second one I think we get is with Zygon and High Command.
Yeah.
And they
Monster High
they
and Cinderella.
they get normalised, and as I've rather crudely written here, they get game ended.
They get game ended. I have to remember that they're not little girls.
No, it's okay. We can say it like this.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Full on, like, not even we're going to keep our high command hostage. We're just
No.
going to fucking murk them.
And we're getting some dribblings of the whole truth and
Truthful
consequence.
consequences. Yeah.
I do like that there's a point where the Doctor is kind of challenged over him not liking being the president of the world, but he's like, yeah, but I do love pouncing around in a big plane.
Yeah, because isn't this the point where he's like kind of divvied up the crew? He's like, I'm going to go to Temekistan.
I have written it down here.
Temekistan.
Oh, it's fuck.
I think it's about that. He's going to where they think a bunch of Zygons are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
here we go.
Kate's going to
Temizistan?
Temesistan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the Doctor's going. Kate's going to the place, Truth or Consequences.
Yes, because it is. Did you know it is a real
A
place?
real place.
Oh,
yeah.
we'll get to that.
And then Jack and Clara are sticking in London, aren't they?
Yes, because they're going to do some investigation around there.
But yeah, and he wants to get there on his fancy plane.
Doesn't it then hard cut to him doing like a rock and roll thing?
I thought it was the peace sign.
Oh, was it the peace sign?
Yeah, in his Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
It's
He looked
great.
fantastic.
He looked brilliant. Makes me sad that the plane probably didn't actually take off and he just wandered up the top of the stairs and that was it. Cut.
So Jack and Clara are walking through what I'm fairly sure is the famous Doctor Who tunnel, where they just
It
use
looks exactly like the tunnel in Flatline, just with a bit of an elevator
and
down
the
it.
tunnel in Torchwood, where Jack teaches
Yeah.
Gwen how to fire. The
Yeah.
tunnel in The Doctor's Daughter.
Yeah. It almost looks as well like one of the tunnels in Sherlock,
Oh, it probably is.
where they've got Martin Freeman and the girl that he's seen at the time after. Which one is it? The Black Lotus one with the travelling circus.
That's one of the very first ones,
Yeah, I
isn't
think it's
it?
like
Yeah.
the second one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's
Well, I
the
suppose
same
it's just
tunnel.
BBC property.
Yeah, BBC tunnel.
Tunnel, you can fill wherever you want. I love how unset dressed it is, apart from just
The bottom of an elevator.
the elevator shaft. Because when they don't they go to, Clara says she needs to go back and get some things, so
Yes.
Jack goes with her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then the most inconspicuous, like, no one can see us
No one
drag
can see
this
us.
child-sized bag into an elevator, and while the
Yeah.
child's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I guess the elevator goes down. They go
They
in
run
after
down the
them.
stairs.
They go into the elevator with them.
No, so the elevator goes down and Clara's like, it's really slow, we can catch it. So they run down the stairs.
Oh, I see, and that's
and
the
then
reveal
wait
when
for
they open it and
then
no
when they
one's
open
there.
it, no one's there, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, let's get in it. And then it shuts behind them.
Yeah, it starts to ooze Zygon cum.
And then, yeah.
I gave up the crew joke earlier. I get one per episode. That was it.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, wait, because, yeah, we've skipped past the titillating the frongs
oh yeah, that shit.
and the having snogged a Zygon.
So is that where that comes from? Where the 50th special? So he knows how to
Yeah.
integrate with the.
Yeah. He's like, I snogged a Zygon once, old habits. And Clara's like, do you want to be alone with that thing?
Yeah, because he goes up to the pussy PC and starts to...
Yeah, effectively, yeah.
And I love how it's very well filmed, but he's like doing... I'm not going to do the hand motion, but he's doing something, and it's just slightly blocked out by something in the foreground. Yeah, it's...
I like the design of the creatures, but I feel like the rest of their tech doesn't necessarily need to be organic in that way.
No. Especially because a lot of the sets, it's like, here's a gross, like, obelisk thing that they have to do, and then here's some old 1980s TVs that are just stacked right next to it.
It is, isn't it? Oh, man. Weird.
Oh, man.
I've got lost. Where were we?
The Doctor's found the sexy area of PC World, and Clara and Jax have got into an elevator which descends quite rough, but then opens up and they just stroll out and seem to be fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
I'm guessing it doesn't like slam on the bottom. It's a rickety part of the elevator, whatever.
Plot.
And
then they just walk out, don't they?
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, should we get some backup?
Don't they see like the dad disappear behind a bit of rubble or something? So so I think they then pursue after that. So Unit Command are in place we can't pronounce, and we get a little bit of what's going on with them because they found that there's a village there that the Zygons are using as their home base. And they send a remote control drone.
Because they think this is where they've taken Osgood, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. They're going to bomb it.
Why do they think that's where they've taken Osgood? Because Osgood was in New Mexico when she was captured. This area seems... I haven't done any research, so I have no idea how far these two places are apart from one another.
No idea. But doesn't Queen Exposition at the beginning of the episode say, we found some footage of this and blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, but that's her being like dragged away outside. No, that's in New Mexico.
Is it?
I think so. Oh no! Sorry, yes, you are right because that's how they make that connection. It's like we found this bit of video
and
footage.
Then they're like, oh, maybe they've got tunnels because that's the only logical explanation.
These poor Zygons that are having to just walk everywhere.
Yeah.
For
like,
presumably weeks.
And they've had to dig these tunnels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's why they're going to. I don't know why that would mean they're going to bomb it. Because surely you'd want to rescue...
Oh, it's unit bombs, Pete. They avoid precious targets.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Which we see even more of later on, where they are easily able to bypass the explosions and stuff. But yeah, so they send up a drone to go and do a scout mission with some missiles or whatever.
Yeah, they're going to send some missiles down.
And this drone comes down because it's being piloted by someone else.
Yes.
Who's being kind of yelled at because they bring down the drone in front of a house and a little boy and presumably a dad walk out, and you see this woman have like a recognition of this, and it kind of like side cuts up to a picture of
these people, yeah.
Because this is a new power that the Zygons have, that instead of just... I can't remember if it was contact that they needed in order to take over people, but
I think so.
This is just from thought now. They don't even need to visually see.
Print now, don't they? Is that what they said?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can just take it from memory at this point and turn into... So
but see, even that doesn't really make sense because there's no way that they've seen this picture. So I don't really understand how they're shaped. I'm sure someone's written it somewhere, or
I'm sure there's some.
I'm sure there's something, but yeah, it just doesn't seem to make much sense because
maybe if the Zygons are being perceived by someone, even if it's through drone, they can then tap into that person and then find those memories. And I mean, this is a lot of work that they're doing because there's not even a point where the door opens. They're in the initially giant gross
boys turn into like, ooh, okay,
they automatically open the door and are humanoid in appearance.
So they must be able to hone in somehow.
So she calls off the...
I'm not doing it.
No.
Which I'm sure she would have been in a lot of trouble for.
Yeah, there's a court martial there or something going down.
That's going on there, isn't it? Yeah.
But we're going to see more of that.
Again?
Give it to me.
Is it the general? Is she a general?
I think so.
Either way, boss lady is being told by the president of the world to not do this. Surely he pulls rank.
There's countless
And
moments
she's
of
going,
this in
no, we're doing this.
There's countless moments of this in Doctor Who. Like, I think the most egregious moment is in Dalek, when it's already been established that the Doctor is the greatest authority on the Daleks,
Yeah.
and then he goes up to one of the military boys and he's like, "I assure you, sir, I know how to take down one little tin robot." And it's
Yeah,
like,
you're
you
like,
have the greatest authority here.
what?
Listen to him, you
Yeah.
cunt.
Yeah. At least in that point, the Doctor wasn't president of the world at that point.
No, but
And
he was
could
still
make little-
identified as the
Absolutely.
authority,
Oh, yeah,
the person who
I
knew.
agree, but at this point, she's literally in the presence of the president of the world.
Yeah.
She is unit, so they accept this, and she should be fucking court-martialed too. That is displaying a direct order.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I also really recognise this actress, and I
So
never
do
looked-
I. And
never looked up why. I'm sure
No.
she's in another TV series.
we might have to do that between episodes.
Yeah.
We'll look that up and we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think
And
she's
I couldn't-
been in Doctor Who.
I don't know, but I couldn't take her as seriously as I wanted to, so I think maybe she might have been in a comedy or something.
Oh, okay.
Because I just had a vibe of like, nah. So yeah. I
Fair.
don't know.
Yeah, so
yeah. That's happened.
yes, but we now cut to the town of Truth or
Truth or
Consequences.
Consequences.
Now,
Okay.
I don't know when this is meant to be set.
Not sure.
Presumably around. I think we worked this out at some point in one of the. Oh no, it was Children of Earth that we worked that out in.
Yeah.
Um.
I don't actually know.
So maybe 2013, 2014, 2015 kind of
Yeah.
area. Truthful Consequence. I don't know if you've ever looked up the town or.
No, I haven't.
I haven't. I found some fun little named places within the town
Okay.
that we'll go through. But I understand that you want to go for like the kind of almost like Wild West-esque thing.
Yeah.
But knowing what I know about this town, I don't think this is that town because this just seems like a kind of like dilapidated Red Dead Redemption style town with like the
Fair.
sandstone bricks and things like that. It doesn't seem.
What does it look like?
Well, admittedly, I haven't seen any kind of exterior shots, but I've got names of places that are within this town that doesn't match what I saw within the Doctor Who episode.
Okay.
So we have a place called Turtleback Coffee, which is nice. Spaceport America is there.
Oh, okay.
And I did see a shot of that, and it's like a huge fucking warehouse with just like
Brilliant.
space probes and like places where people can go for tours and stuff. Tractor Supply and Co. Now, I don't know about you, but I would never want to go to a swimming pool that is literally named the Truth and Consequence pool.
No! That sounds like you're going to get completely murked.
Yeah.
That is like someone's taking you there to torture you.
Yeah, you've
getting
got
waterboarded
well
there.
that, or you've got two pools. One has got the normal amount of chlorine, and one has got the death amount of chlorine. You are dangled over it until you are told a truth of some kind. Tattoos by Leroy,
Excellent, Leroy.
and one I suppose that does correlate to what we saw in the episode, but the Desert View Inn.
Okay, yeah, that tracks. That tracks. That's the only one that tracks.
But yeah, the rest of these they don't seem to be like.
I think we're supposed to be. Obviously, they've had a massive rebel situation.
Yeah.
So maybe is it just dusty and gross because there's been a lot of killing? I don't know.
Yeah, but like the buildings should still be there and stuff,
Depends on how many have been blown up.
and only left the weird sandstone ones that are just.
Trying to support the plot.
You can't do it.
enough.
Oh,
I mean-
where is Tattoos by Leroy?
Where is Tattoos by Leroy? I want to go and get a tattoo by Leroy in Truth or Consequences.
Wouldn't you just have to get like the Truthful
You'd have
Consequences
to.
thing
Yeah.
or something?
Absolutely.
If they've got
You'd
like a
have to
coat
put
of arms
like
or
the symbol.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, how do you feel about this copper?
Well, we'll get
As
to
an actress.
we'll get to the copper because we've got a very cinematic tumbleweed before we get there.
Oh, we
where
do!
Kate's walking and there's just a little tumbleweed going along.
I did have to double check that wasn't something else.
Yes, because we see things.
Yes.
That as far as I'm aware, that
I think that is a
tumbleweed-
legit tumbleweed.
That is legit tumbleweed. It's so nice to see Kate actually out in the field doing some solo
And
stuff.
by herself.
That is
Yeah.
nice. I'm enjoying
It's
that.
like, oh look, this is why she's paid the big bucks.
Because
Yeah,
as much
I
as
know
she
what
is
she's
a badass when she's surrounded by her team and stuff, it's nice to see her holding her own,
Yeah.
just out and about.
Yeah.
Yes, so she goes into, I think it is the police station,
Yeah,
and
she's in the
sees
cop-up. Yeah.
that they're
one
someone's. Well, initially, yeah, because isn't there like pictures and stuff that are records of what's gone down? And
Yeah, they've been looking into murders and human murders, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
on there, yeah.
and then we hear a gun being cocked
I
behind.
think we even see the gun.
We do,
being
yes.
cocked, Yeah.
And it is, well, from what we understand, a police officer. Now, okay, yes, let's talk about. What's the
I
thing?
don't know if I like her acting.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
What is it that?
I don't know if it's just so jarring that she's just an American cop in a very British show for me.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. There was just something about it. I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
Why? Did you like her? Am I being mean?
No, not at all. Because I've often homed in on actors and actresses that have odd styles of acting. Like a good example of that would be the mum from Children of Earth, where I picked out certain points.
Yeah.
But then Donna corrected me that is how a mum would react in certain situations. I don't know.
I
Now, one show I do love is a show called, I think it's based off of the film or the book, Fargo.
yeah.
The Martin Freeman
Yes.
version.
Yeah.
And this cop initially strikes me a lot of like the cops from that town, where they are kind of like, we've never seen violence before and things like that, and not quite the howdly-doodly kind of Ned Flanders, but I don't know, they have a certain amount of charm behind them.
Yeah.
That's what I saw from that cop. But what was it that kind of...
I can't even put my finger on it or tell you why.
Okay.
I just didn't like her.
Okay. Sure, she's been good in other things.
I'm sure she's
I'm reluctant
fantastic.
to say I'm sure that they're a good person, because I've seen people do that, like about Adam from Doctor Who, who turned out to be a rubbish person,
Yeah.
Noel Clarke, and all those other,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that just in case, but I'm sure they've been good in other things.
Yes, I'm sure she's a good actress, but I don't know. I just felt very little from her,
No, that's fair.
and I know obviously that might track later, but we don't know.
So the police officer is accusing her of being a Zygon and regales some of the tales of when there were a few murders, and then suddenly someone transformed into what she described as a lizard. Was it a lizard?
reptile.
Reptile, thank you.
Yeah. Which I don't know.
Yeah, but you
I
gotta,
suppose if you've not really got much to grasp on, maybe.
yeah, you can't be like turned into humanoid sucker dildo.
Turned into one leg of a starfish.
And they join together and they roll down the
My
street.
God!
Yeah, so
Yeah. Okay, I'll give her that. Fair enough.
that's all we really kind of get from that initial interaction. This is where I'm going to start to fall apart. So I'm going to.
There's too much chopping and changing again.
There is. There's a lot during these two parters. So I think we are just, for sane of mind, we are just going to have to cover the main parts.
Yeah.
Whatever order that happens,
Who
it's
knows? We'll
yeah.
remember something later.
Yeah.
We'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was that.
So I can't even remember where we hop to next.
Well, let's go back
Do we
to.
go back to Temes's stuff?
Yeah, let's go back there, because
Pretty sure that's where we
the
go
next course of action is to send in a
squad.
A squad.
Oh yeah, and the doctor's going, do we really have to do this?
Yeah, because I'm sure the doctor's seen what's going to come from a mile away.
Oh, 100%.
Because he's already seen that someone, like, you've got the disconnect of being in a seat of a drone, remote control miles away. Imagine how someone's going to react if they're face to face with someone taking on the visual depiction of someone they love or
Someone
care
else,
about.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't the general go like that anybody I know or love could turn into a Zygon
It's not paranoia when it's real.
when it's real? Yeah, I loved that. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's really, really good idea. Like, I don't think I'm on the human side at this point, where like they're saying we have to kill them.
Yeah.
like that's not cool.
No.
But then when they say shit like that, you're like, you know what? Fair enough. That is valid.
There's a lot of stuff in the next episode that I want to cover in terms of this, because there's and not that there's anything wrong with this, I think it's very important, but there's bits that I feel like there's commentary on in real world scenarios and things like that I think is very well explored in this upcoming episode. But like you say, it kind of makes you think about the Zygon side as opposed to, or at least the renegade Zygons as opposed to
because they're obviously not good. The fact that they are killing people, obviously not good,
not great.
But the fact to then just be like, we have to wipe out all the Zygons is very bad.
Yes.
So the fact that she is so trigger happy, even though obviously it is a problem, is very telling of certain people. And you just think like,
But also, like, this isn't me coming to their aid at all. But I suppose when you are in the army, you have to have that disconnect.
Absolutely.
Because you wouldn't be able to do the job that you do without having it.
Yeah.
You have to think like these. It's easier to, at least in their mind, to group a certain group of people in and label them the enemy, as opposed to looking at the greys within the black and white and finding the individuals who are children, or the individuals who have been coerced against their will into this organisation.
Or just a very, I can't think of the word, influenced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But they go in anyway. And we get... This is when... I think when I first saw this episode, I realised that this wasn't a light-hearted story. We were getting some more dark storytelling, because they figure out that there's... Or they at least believe that the Zygons are all kind of hunkered up in this church.
Yeah.
They all surround it and start screaming,
"Get out there!" Yeah.
And the door slowly opens and a lady walks out. And it's very apparent very quickly that this is a lady who's relevant and important to the man who's leading the charge within the squad, and it turns out to be his mother.
Yeah.
Oh man, some of the acting in the exchange,
It's
like,
really good.
"You're gonna kill me. Oh my god, you're gonna do it."
Yeah. And then "I love you, I forgive you, and I love you." I was like, oh my god! Like, you do kind of, like, when I was watching it, bits of me were like, oh, maybe it was his mum. Obviously, knowing full well it's not his mum.
Yeah.
But you can feel the doubt.
Yeah.
That he would have had.
Yeah. It's
just like, oh my god.
It's heartbreaking, and he like drops his formality and stuff where he's like, "Please don't, Mum, please."
Yeah, please. Yeah, 'cause it started off like, "Don't use my name, you're not my mother."
Yeah.
And then it's like, "Mum." Yeah, it's brilliant. It's really, really well done.
And heavy.
Really heavy, really heavy. I don't know if it was... cheapened ever so slightly by everybody else's relatives coming out. I think it would have been nicer if it was just them.
Yes. We'll get to that, but because this is a heavy topic, there's only one place that we can go.
Oh, no.
We have a Twitter account. It's what we've started to do whenever we get to a heavy point.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Yes, we do. But there's an important reason why I'm mentioning this now, because at some point, Pete and I will get to the end of Capaldi's run. We don't want to think about it, but as time does march forward, so must this podcast, and at some point, we will have to
start again.
We got to start again. No, because Robots of Sherwood would never be over 20 minutes. Can't happen.
We could try.
But
where do we go next?
Exactly. So there is I couldn't put a poll on Twitter because it would take it down after 5 days. So I needed something that would run for longer.
Yeah.
So there is a post on our Twitter at Eat Pears Never, which I think is the Twitter handle.
Yeah.
But it will be in the show notes. Where it suggests 5 different... I'll see if I can bring it up now so I can read them out. Let me get to it.
Eccleston?
I
Did we start?
don't think I said that, but
That would be too sensible to start at the beginning.
We have a choice of 5, technically 6, because some arsehole commented a 6th one. Wasn't me. We have the Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yeah.
We have Torchwood Season 1.
Yeah.
We have Class.
Yeah.
We have 12 of our favourite Big Finish episodes. And then we have the 13th Doctor.
Cool.
And our 6th one is Primeval Season 1. So far, the beautiful Donna has outbalanced that vote by saying Class.
Nice.
But we still need at least one more vote to push it towards a direction if someone's voting
Come
for
on,
Class.
people!
Yes, we need your help in order to choose where we are going to go with this.
Yeah.
because I don't know about yourself, but I'd love to continue on this show
Yeah, boy.
and to continue talking about Doctor Who.
Absolutely.
But back into the heavy stuff.
They've gone inside.
Yes, because, and you are right to bring it up, because I think the plausibility of someone's family member being taken makes sense.
yes.
But then the plausibility of every single person's significant family member being taken seems a bit...
Is not true. Yeah.
And he did...
But even also, like, the Zygon don't have mind control, do they?
No.
So you're telling me out of all of those soldiers, all of them thought that all of their family members were in a church in Temezistan.
And, I mean, this
I
speaks...
didn't think that was weird.
This speaks to the kind of... I don't know, like, the grade of soldier that the main guy was, because he at least asked questions in order to... Although she never answered any of them,
No.
there was an exchange, but all the rest of them needed was just the visual cue that their family are in there, and that was it.
I mean, extras without lines, so, you know,
Yeah.
fair. But
Yeah.
you just think, like, are we really that pack mentality as a species?
Sometimes we are.
I'd
I
like
mean, the
to
Doctor
think-
makes that point,
Very,
doesn't he?
very much so, yeah.
Age of Steel, where it's like just we'd walk into the slaughterhouse if it means the next upgrade.
Yeah.
Um,
But then you do think, like, come on, at least one of them must have gone, excuse me, I don't believe that this is true.
Excuse me, who's this bastard? I've never seen him before in my life.
This isn't my brother.
This is my postman. I know I have a very lonely life, but we're not even on first name terms.
You would have just
What the
thought-
Zygons are going to do if there's like a recluse?
Exactly.
They're not
Be
just...
like, okay, cool. He's fine. He's
He
chill.
gets no one.
Yeah, he doesn't come out of the house. He's fine. It's weird.
Yes.
And all the sergeant can do is go, damn it! And run around and shoot open the door. Check if it's locked first.
Yeah.
And then you don't shoot it from that distance.
No.
That was very strange. But also, in general, her going around with the Doctor only is stupid. Take somebody else with you.
Like, this sergeant would have... I felt would have just...
I liked this episode, and now I realise I'm just picking holes.
We're allowed to do it, Pete. We're a Doctor Who rewatch podcast.
Sorry, the general.
Yeah, I feel like they would have at least tried to take some shots or something, perhaps into the... Because she knows that they're dead in that moment.
Yeah.
Just to try and... Because presumably if a Zygon's hit, they'll break camouflage.
They
or...
do.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Just shoot
Not
his
to
mum
be
in the
like,
head.
oh, I guess they're gone. I guess
Yeah.
they're done.
Yeah, literally just shoot the mum in the head.
Well, but you may not be able to do from that distance, but just spray and pray, like...
Yeah. Just hope. Hit one of them in the head.
Yeah.
Kill it.
But
I don't know.
I wouldn't have liked that to actually happen,
No, I'd
but
hate
for
it.
her to go and do it, and then the Doctor to kind of like bring down the gun or something, and to have intervened. But it seems very odd, like to
The whole situation was odd.
Yeah.
Like the Doctor should have intervened at some point. So I know he's like trying to not pick sides and keep the peace, but that wasn't keeping the peace.
No. But yeah, they all go in.
Yeah.
And no, go on.
How long did it take them to get in?
Apparently not very long at all, because
But they massacred all of those people and managed to vanish completely.
sorry, yeah, I was saying the soldiers going in took no time at all, because it took no time at all for them to go
run
in.
around,
And,
shoot the door open and go in.
yeah, and the Zygons are gone, and
The
we've
Zygons
just
are already gone and everybody's already
we've got sparky puddles.
sparkle puddles, yeah.
Yeah,
Iron wool sparkle puddles.
like the prop department were running out of this.
I don't know. I felt like there should. I don't know. I know the Doctor Who asked us to believe in a lot, but that speed, there's no way.
No,
I don't even know where the tunnels are supposed to be at this point. 'Cause
just
obviously
vaguely
just-
about
Yeah,
under buildings.
just I don't know. It's,
No.
that's not the biggest problem.
If they'd maybe had an exchange, because then again, if they'd had that moment where she tried to fire, the Doctor pulled down the gun and would have to have taken her out of that moment and had a proper talk.
Or, they've come through the door into another room and can hear the screaming. And then you go through the door and you find the puddles. I don't know. You know what I mean?
But talking about sparky puddles, I think we need to cover something else going on elsewhere with our good old Kate Stewart.
Yes, more
'Cause-
sparkly puddles.
Yes, because we are taken outside into a street in Truth or Consequence, and the police lady takes her over to a bin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Who did she pick them all up and put them in the bin?
I mean, we do. I know this is next episode, but we do see that there are people willing to just sweep.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think she just swept them all up into a bin?
Presumably.
Yeah.
But that's dark.
That is dark, and it's not just one bin.
No, because you.
Don't they then like?
They look around because you hear
horrible
more
can.
sparky.
Yeah, that is dark as well. Like, because she doesn't even respond to Kate saying,
Are those people?
are those people? She just looks at the other bins, and you can hear that sparking again. You're like, oh my god! And then knowing what we know later, that it smells like barbecue.
Mm.
Ugh.
In that truthful consequence sun, that's gonna.
Ugh. It's gonna be grim.
Well, grim once you find out. I mean, barbecue's
yeah.
a pretty great smell, but
But when you know that it's barbecue
but when you know it's
person-
people, that's not great.
But no, I loved that bit. I thought that was great. I was like, oh,
More Doctor Who dark moments.
darkness. Yeah, because like, I mean, think about the size of one of those balls. The amount of people that are taking up in those bins is a lot of people. That's a lot of people did. Maybe Leroy.
No.
No more tattoos. By
No more tattoos. Who's going to run the pool?
Who's gonna run the pool?
Because we also think it's Leroy. He's got multiple.
Yeah,
he's
Leroy's
the
just
only
works
person
everywhere.
working in Truthful Consequence. Right. So
Do we do a? Is it a Clara thing now, or do we go back to the Doctor?
I don't. My next note is the Doctor, and they break into
Let's go to the Doctor then.
they break into like the. It's almost like a command room.
Yeah,
From what I
yeah,
remember, there's
with-
like a table
with
with
their cute little blocks,
with their little blocks, and
which make no sense.
no.
Why are they there?
Look, Pete, when you're orchestrating an attack, as I often have, you need little visuals to pop around with your big old stick. Just to...
I would have appreciated it if they showed us the tunnels.
Well, yes, that would make more sense. Or the time that had clearly passed between the execution and them getting in. But we get none of that because we get don't we get a voice calling out for help?
We lose the general first. She buggers off
Why did she leave?
because she's like, "I'm bombing the place."
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
done.
How many minutes does she give?
10 minutes.
10
She's
minutes.
like, I'm going. You've got 10 minutes to get out. And he's like, but we still need to find Osgood. And she's like, don't care. I'm out. Yeah. And then once she's gone, yeah.
Plot demands that we find Osgood.
Plot demands
and
that we
find her we do.
Find who we do with a lot of wonderful tip tapping on the floor
Yeah.
as he's like trying to search for. Does he even realise that she's going to be underground at this point? Or has he just heard her?
Maybe he's just heard her
voice
muffled calling.
and then it's like she must be under the floor.
You didn't see the next scene where he's throwing stones at the ceiling. He's like, "Are you up there?
Yeah, are you up there?
Are you in the ceiling?
Are you in a cupboard? Are you in another room?
Yeah.
Straight to the floor.
Straight to the floor.
Straight to the floor.
Doctor's got that good directional hearing.
He knows what he's doing.
Homes
He's like,
in like a shark.
But yeah, under a carpet.
Yeah.
Trapdoor.
And he finds, isn't she just loosely tied up on
She's
a
got
chair?
handcuffs and a chain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because then he's like Sonic Scar.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, sorry.
No, you're good. And we get one Zygon turned up, but he is plotted to death by the premature.
No, he's not dead.
Doesn't he get squashed?
He gets squashed, but he's not dead.
Oh, is he not dead?
No, because then he finds himself aboard the plane.
Yes. Sorry.
Because
Yes.
Isn't at one point? Well, yeah, while the Doctor's undoing her chains, they talk about Clara, and then that's when the Zygon goes Clara. So he like lets on that he's been eavesdropping,
Yeah.
and that's the only reason why the guys know that he's there. But yeah, then turn around, and before they even can talk to him, yeah, the roof falls in on him, and the Doctor's like, "Well, that was a great 10 minutes, wasn't it?"
Again, probably another conversation where he just takes her aside and is like, "You have listened to nothing.
To nothing. You
I
are
have said.
done.
Why am I even here?"
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think it has to be him that they end up with on the plane because there's no other Zygon.
There is now, I did note this, but in classic Regan fashion, I have not added any supporting notes or where the fuck this actually happens. I've just written more talk on the hybrid.
That's in the plane.
Yes.
That's in the plane. The Doctor's trying to figure out which Osgood he's got, whether he's got the human or the Zygon,
He is.
after a wonderful chat about his pants.
Oh yeah, because
He's asking about the question
she's
marks.
descaled in her Doctor Who.
Yeah, she's just got her little
outfits and
question
stuff.
marks on her
Yeah.
collar, and she's like, "You used to wear question marks."
Why'd you stop?
He's like, "I don't. I've got question mark underpants." But yeah, she said like, "I won't answer the question. I am both human and Zygon." And then he goes, "Oh, like a hybrid." And then that's all we get
Yeah.
of the hybrid.
We are still. I've re-listened to every episode we've done, at least up until the Christmas special stuff, and I've heard I never mention it.
I know. Isn't that really awful? Because it was like the overarching element of this series.
Guys,
Because
we're
they
good
chat
at
about
this.
the
We
hybrid
promise.
in The Magician's Apprentice. 'Cause they're like, oh, they think it's a Dalek and a Time Lord. And then they chat about it. Do they chat about it in... What happens next? I can't remember if they chat about it in Before the Flood or not.
I don't think they do, because there's no reason to chat about that.
But they definitely obviously chat about it in The Woman Who Lived,
Yeah.
Girl Who Died, The Woman Who Lived arc. Yeah. It's just being slowly peppered in. And we've missed
So
it.
slowly we
have so
we
missed
missed
it.
the peppering.
Yeah, we missed the peppery. But yeah, and then Boyo wakes up.
Who wakes up?
Zygon Boy?
Yes.
What
Well,
we
the
do-
one they've captured.
Yeah.
Isn't he awake when we just see him in the next shot? He's being like wheeled onto the.
I think
Plane.
he's wheeled on, still unconscious.
Oh, okay.
And we might do a cut to Clara and then do a smash back to him, and he's going, being awake.
Well, we'll maybe cover that in a little bit, because we've got some more stuff going on with Clara and Jax, because they've walked into the big old room with the pods and
They have. Have they finally got back up yet?
back up.
Back up.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Sorry, not back up. As in.
Yes. Yes.
Back up.
Yes, I believe they've got.
I think they've got
peeps
guns
with them.
now.
Yeah. But this is what I don't understand, because let's not bat around the bush anymore. This fucking Clara's a Zygon.
How dare you? Do we know this yet?
Yes. Yes, we do. And why?
We don't know this yet.
But we do, because it happens in the next few seconds, Pete. She goes up and because she's saying to Jax like, "Oh, they're pods. They must be growing humans or whatever the fuck." And Jax is like, "No, because that's not how the Zygons work. Because I'm exposition."
Yeah.
And Clara goes over to a pod that presumably she knows it has Clara.
got her in it.
So why would she be like,
Shit, that's me.
the thing I knew is in there?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Is she just playing with her food at this point?
Maybe?
She's got to be, because otherwise that would be a huge thing for her to forget.
Or maybe, I don't know, does she genuinely not know that that's her pod?
I don't know, but if
Because she was Clara before Clara was put down in the pod.
yes,
Because when we
yeah,
get
yeah.
to that bit, so maybe she just doesn't know where she put them. Where she
If
was put.
if that is the case, then that is the most outrageous coincidence,
Yeah.
considering how many pods there are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way,
Either way, yeah, when it happened, I was like, wait, what the fuck?
but unfortunately, the reveal is that there's some Zygon peeps about,
Yeah.
and the soldiers and exposition Jax
We'll
gets.
never have exposition again.
No, well, we might, but
We're going to know what's happening.
I'm sure people will talk about what's going on.
We're never going to know what's happening ever again.
No, because
Jax is gone.
Jax is gone. And yeah, I've just got exposition. I was really on something when I wrote these. Exposition lady also gets game ended. There is a bit of commentary from the Doctor, because he's talking to the Zygon on the plane and to Osgood,
Yeah.
and saying like what would happen if people knew about the Zygons, and the main thing they'd be worried about is that they'd pinch their benefits.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the Zygons finally said that what the Truth or Consequences want is to live as themselves.
No.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely fair enough. But yeah, pinching of the benefits. I was like, oh, we went there.
And we also get the reveal of the police lady is a Zygon.
We do, yes, because Kate's just been sitting there looking through paper, And the cops realise she actually doesn't have any backup coming.
In a transformation that we can't see because budget.
Budget.
Because we have to use it for all the other transformations. It's just...
Although, credit to Kate's acting,
Mm.
because it is a very good, oh my fuck face.
Yes, but it's also not like a too over the top one because
No.
she's seen Zygons before. Like
Yeah.
this is just that.
It's
Oh,
just that,
I'm in the
I am-
corner and
yeah, I'm fucked.
I'm a bit
Yeah.
screwed. Okay, so Doctor and Zygon and Osgood on a plane.
Yeah.
Clara goes. Doesn't she take a call from the Doctor? Because she's on the phone with him.
Yes, but not...
What have I
she's-
missed?
Well, we've seen the flashback to the room, haven't we? We know that she's
Yes.
Bonnie, and then she's been back to the unit safe house and picked up a bazooka,
Yes.
and then got on her lovely little motorbike and driven to a cliff.
Yes.
Yes. Then I think she calls the Doctor.
Right. And she also gives the reveal that Clara's dead,
Yes.
that Kate's dead.
Yes. Unit is neutralised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I know this unfortunately is taken away, because I thought I had a fun note to make, but then it is shown in the next episode why this happens. But if we just look at this episode as it stands, this is the weirdest recoil from a rocket launcher I've ever seen, where there's no, like... Okay, I think even this, with the context in the next episode, should still happen. There should be, like, a kind of blow back.
It would have knocked her off her feet. The way she's standing.
Yeah. But
she should be standing one foot in front of the other, not straddled.
Well, you should almost be kneeling, because you need, like, the
Yeah,
greatest
you need
surface.
as much surface and as much ground support
As a man who shot many rocket launchers.
As a gunman,
Yeah,
I know
fair.
that you should. Yeah, you need more stability than what she. I know she's a Zygon, and maybe they're more immune to kickback and recoil and all that shit. But yeah, no.
Nah.
Even with what we then find out, there should be some pushback.
Yeah.
Or something.
But there isn't so much a pushback as there is a side swipe
Side swipe, yeah.
as the missile is
Missile goes towards
the plane, and I think
That is
is where we end
that is it.
this episode. It's this part of the show where, Pete, I've got to ask, would you dare question the great wizard Queequeg? You wouldn't do that. But for those who would, they would be a daft cunt. And this is our daft cunt of the week.
What do they think they're doing?
A ham-fisted bun-tender.
He's an unimaginative plodder.
Apart from losing the master and the missile, you're doing very well, Brigadier.
By helping you devise a less idiotic plan of attack, all the idiotic suggestions.
You're an idiot.
You will bring a terrible retribution upon yourselves if you persist.
Shut up, you silly old fool!
You would dare to harm the great wizard Queequeg?
Charming.
Yeah, they're round the twist, if you ask me.
I am struggling with finding ones for these. This two-parter.
There is a daft cunt of the week for this one.
I'd say for this
The
one,
teachers.
fair. Yeah.
Who are you going to say for this one?
I was either going to say because of those little moments with the sergeant,
Also, yes, maybe her.
and also why wouldn't when the drone operator's just like, no, I'm not going to blow up the depiction of my family. Why isn't she like, get out of the chair? I'll do it. How difficult is it to push a button? I know credit's due to drone flies, not an easy task, but she has lined up that shot.
Yeah.
Surely it is just trigger, button, whatever.
But also, if she just goes strike aborted and lets go, what happens to the drone?
Still flying there.
Does it just hover?
Presumably.
Or
Because
does
that
it
is a very
fall?
stable shot that they've kind of achieved.
Yeah. Maybe is it her? Is it the sergeant? Maybe it's the sergeant that's the daft cunt of the week.
Well, I mean, the teachers is
Or maybe
a
it's-
fair shout.
The teachers is a fair shout. Actually, maybe Soldier Boy is as well. And then goes, of course, that's my mum.
That one,
Or is it all the other soldiers? That
I think it may be all the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, because him I can kind of see, because there's more of a back and forth. And as much as she isn't answering the questions about what's my teddy bear's name and...
Date and place of my birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which... My mum forgot what year I was born, so that wouldn't work.
My mum's done that once, yeah. I was like,
yeah, I think it would be the other soldiers.
I think it might be.
They're
It's
just
either the teachers or
wandering.
the other soldiers.
Yeah, that is fair. So those are our daft cunt of the week. If you have a different one, or if you'd like to comment about the episode or comment about us, please be nice.
Yeah, please be kind.
We try our best with these episodes. They're never in order. You're just going to have to accept that
I
this
think,
is the
yeah.
format that we do these days.
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly
Yeah.
and stuff.
But thank you so much for watching. I have been Regan, and I've been joined by my wonderful co-host Pete once again. Don't think there's anything else that I need to do with show notes or anything.
We've said about Twitter.
Yes, we have. Please do comment, because whoever that wanker was that wrote Primeval first season, we can't let them win. Got to keep it Doctor Who orientated. But yes, until the next time, we are blasting off into time and space.
Yeah.
Moisturize me, moisturize me.